All right, so you guys want to know more about semen retention. And I just made a video, 20 minutes long, but it's whatever. Two videos today. I got y'all. I got y'all with two videos today. I'm in flow state right now. I'm not thinking about anything else in the world other than providing you guys value. That's it. I was going to go work out right now, but I got more questions on the semen retention. And honestly, I love this. I love being on YouTube and telling you guys more about things that you guys want to know how to overcome. So that is one thing that I overcame a long time ago. I overcame that addiction and that bad habit long, long ago, over 1,000 days. And when I started to figure out a way to escape that lifestyle, that addiction, that habit, I did not just, it didn't just happen on the first try. So if right now you are a guy and you're trying, that's the first step. You have to try. That's with anything in life. It's not going to work on the first try. It's going to take failure and failure and failure and failure. And each failure, every time you experience failure, you experience regret. And when you experience regret, that's a gift. You get a gift from life, regret. Because now your conscience is telling you what you should do better. Your conscience is guiding you in the right direction. So once you beat your meat, you release all over yourself, all your life force energy, and now you're depleted, you regret it, right? You're like, damn, what am I doing with my life? That what they call it post nut clarity. You're sitting there by yourself in a dark room, quiet, watching other people do something that you want to do, and you feel regret. So the next day, what do you need to do? You need to experience that regret in order to truly, truly give up that bad habit. And I've overcame many bad habits. I'm telling you, I've overcame laziness, procrastination, Percocets, pills, jerking off, all these bad habits. I had to think about it for a second because it's just a long list. And the way that I overcame the habit that you guys are curious about, which is mastering semen retention, is I downloaded this app called Manhood, right? And anything that you're trying to start, any habit, you want to make it a way that it almost feels like a competition. Competition even with yourself. To this day, I still use habit trackers for all my habits. I write them down. They have little circles every single day. And I'm very competitive. So I'm in competition with myself. I feel like if I don't get that dot for the day, I'm a loser. If I don't fill in that dot, I'm a loser. What? I couldn't fill out the dot. I couldn't do what I had to do. So you feel like a loser, right? So that has led me to be a more disciplined man. So when I was trying to quit that habit that you guys are talking about, what did I do? I downloaded the Manhood app. And this is in no way sponsored by Manhood. I'm just telling you guys what worked for me. I went on the Manhood app and it allows you to keep streaks. So I would go streaks, 7 days, fail, retry, 10 days, fail, retry, 30 days, fail, retry, until eventually I started going 100 days, 100, days. And when you start going longer and longer and longer without something, you start to get more clarity because right now you're in that bad habit. You're in the habit of playing with yourself, going on these sites and releasing all your energy. And right now you're in the mindset where you think you need this. That's an addiction. That is a bad habit. You think you need this, but you really don't. And it's only with time that life is going to provide you clarity. That's with anything in life. Whether it's a bad relationship and you break up, at first, you're going to feel sadness. At first, you're going to feel, man, I need her. I miss her. All these things. The longer you go with time, you're going to be provided with clarity. And you're going to say, I didn't need that. That's just in the moment. You have built up an attachment to this thing, whether it is pills, whether it is a bad habit, you've built up an attachment over time because you do something every day. And when you do something every day, it starts to become part of your life. And having a life without this thing doesn't feel right. However, once you quit, you need to start adopting healthier habits. And eventually, that habit is something you won't even think about. I don't even think about that to this day because I have put habits in my life, such as working out, such as learning, such as getting on YouTube and teaching you guys about my mistakes and how I overcame them. So now my life would feel weird if I don't do these things. If I don't sit on here and teach you guys something, if I don't sit and listen to an audiobook or learn something, if I don't work out, my life feels weird without that. It's not releasing and going on the sites that I'm even worried about because I don't think about those things anymore. But what had inspired me to begin to do that was I read this book right here, Think and Grow Rich. And it's talking about sexual transmutation. And when you start to figure out and learn more about sexual transmutation, you start to figure out that sexual energy is one of the strongest energies in the world. You could be tired, you could be sad, you could be this, you could be that. But once you get that urge, once you get, you know, that urge to want to go on the site or go talk to a girl or whatever, you are filled with energy. You're ready to go. You're not thinking about anything else. Why? Because it's such a strong energy that you possess. Because we're put on this earth to reproduce. So when you have that energy, instead of going on the sites, instead of looking up your favorite star and, whipping it out and doing this truly sad behavior where you're sitting there by yourself and you're going to regret it a few moments after because that's what instant gratification is. You're going to regret it after. I promise you, if you're sacrificing on your diet and you say, fuck it, I want to have this instant gratification, I'm going to eat those Oreos. I'm going to break my word with myself and I'm going to eat those Oreos. I'm going to give in to weakness. You regret it shortly after. It feels good in the moment. You're like, wow, I feel gratified. And then a few moments later, you feel like shit. That's instant gratification. You feel gratification for just a tiny little bit. It's short-term pleasure. See, once you start to find long-term pleasure and delaying gratification, you will start to realize that that is what truly aligns you to your purpose. Something that might take a long time, might take a long time to truly bring out and bring to life, but that's what truly fulfills you. What truly fulfills you is the things that you have to work towards to receive some sort of gratification. Like for me, I've been working on this channel for a while now, working on improving my message, working on improving myself, working on what do you guys want that I can teach you more about. And guess what? This brings me way more gratification than any other short-term gratification I could ever do in my life. Me dieting, me sticking to my word, even if it's for 90, 100 days, and truly seeing the results that I can bring out based on me committing to something and carrying out my word. That brings true fulfillment. Once I did my first muscle up, after it took me thousands of failures to do, guess what? I felt fulfilled. I felt fulfilled, and I don't care how long it takes me to develop a very clean muscle up like Ian Barsegal. I don't care how long it takes me because I understand that that's what brings me true fulfillment. Sitting there and playing with yourself, it's going to give you fulfillment for just a tiny little bit. But I promise you, you're going to feel regret after. And if you are single right now, now is the perfect time for you to practice this because you learn more about yourself. But when you have a girlfriend, it's harder. One, temptation. Two, it's just harder, and you know how. Three, women just don't understand. Women just don't understand that you have you're doing this for a purpose, right? If you are practicing semen retention, a woman's going to think he's either getting it somewhere else, he doesn't find me attractive, I'm not doing the right job. But you have to explain to her, listen, baby, I am on a path to learning more about myself. I'm on a path to becoming the best version of myself, and I need my life force energy. So it's easier right now if you are single. So especially especially if you're not dating, now's the time to learn more about yourself. And what that does is it teaches you more about yourself, because every time you have that urge, every time that you delay the gratification and you say no, not today, guess what? You are learning more about yourself. You are learning more about how to control your mind. Because back when I would give in to these instant pleasures, guess what? I didn't have no control over my mind. Why do I have control over my mind now? Because I've given up addictions such as pills. It's one of the strongest addiction. It's an opioid. I was very, very addicted. And the way that I started gaining control over my mind is every single time I had that urge, I tell myself no. And there's more power in no than you telling yourself yes. When you tell yourself no, you are learning more about yourself, because you are mastering your mind. You are mastering the fact that you can control your brain. You can't call yourself a man if you can't control your own brain. How can you call yourself a man if you have this urge and you are controlled by it? Back when I had an addiction to pills, the moment I had the urge, I had to go. I had to go get some pills. I don't consider myself a man when I have to give in to my weakness. I'm a man, and I consider myself a man now because I hold my word and I control my mind. I control my mind. So if I have an urge such as releasing or playing with myself or popping pills, I feel more gratification in the fact that I can control my mind and tell myself no. I can tell myself no. So you have to get to the point where you can start gaining control over your mind, and that in itself should be motivation for you to become a better man. Learn to tell yourself no, because that's what's truly going to bring